So, 2023 is almost done and we've had quite the year of One Piece chapters. Hype, emotions, lore drops, it's been a lot. So I thought it would be fun to retroactively look back over the year of 2023 and reflect on what the chapters have brought us this year. That's this video. Then on Monday, since I had to reread all of Egghead Island in order to make this video, I figured with Egghead fresh on my mind, we could then look forward into what do we think, how do we think Egghead is going to end? How will it resolve? Maybe even a little bit past Egghead. I've got a lot of thoughts in my head, so this video is looking back over the year of 2023, what One Piece has brought us, and then Monday's video is going to be looking ahead into 2024. Yes, I do realize that there will probably be one more chapter this year, but my kids are about to go on school break. There was no way I was gonna be able to put in the time that it took to make this video while my kids were on break, so we're doing it today, and I believe in you to insert the final chapter in your mind. So the year of One Piece 2023, starting with January. So in January, we had already been on Egghead for a short time, and still we're kind of thinking that this was gonna be a short reprieve, quick little island, like a zoo, until we move on to Elbaf. Oh, how wrong we'd be. In January, the Revolutionary Army had just helped Kuma escape from the Celestial Dragons, and then Kuma escaped from them and started to climb a wall. Bonnie wanted to kill Vegapunk for killing Kuma, but Vegapunk couldn't turn him back or tell her why he did it. Luckily, there was a Kuma bubble floating nearby. Zoro fights a giraffe, and others fight control over the Seraphim, and a clone slash succubus fights her comrades. We get the name of an old man, and the entire fandom loses their minds. And Kid is the one that gets to see Elbaf. Oh, and Garp is off to save his favorite son. February. There's someone inside the lab. Vegapunk goes missing, and the Stellas are getting picked off. But don't worry, we caught the culprit on camera. And look at it. That's clearly York. The Vegapunks have lost control of the Seraphim, and they don't know why. So our heroes bravely decide to team up with the enemy to stay alive. Meanwhile, we got a teaser of the flashback of Kuma, and the fandom started coping hard. Surely this wasn't gonna be all we would get. Surely this is not another Kaido situation, right? Fake News Morgans puts out a news story that Luffy wages war against the Navy, which, to be fair, did kind of happen a few chapters later. We find out that Vivi is okay, and we all celebrate. But she's with Wapol. And Shanks and Kid square up for the fight of the century. March. In March, we still naively thought that we were in a murder mystery plot. The fight with the Seraphim is not going super well. The Straw Hats are giving their all, but they can't seem to make a dent. Thankfully, Zoro, the strategist, uses his personal intel to crack the code. What a sharp lad. We're so fortunate to have him as a part of the crew. The other Straw Hats are also facing the Seraphim in other locations around the lab, but the real tragedy of the month is that while Vegapunk is imprisoned, Shaka finds him, and he too is taken out. But we still don't know who's behind this, who's created this horrible situation, and who's picking off our Vegapunks one by one. It's York. York's the whodunit. But we still have the epic battle in Elbaf between the legendary red hair Shanks and the garbage collector red hair Kid. Shanks won. Shanks super won. April. In April, by now we've realized that we are not doing the murder mystery thing anymore, and in fact that wasn't even the point of Egghead, but what we haven't realized yet is that we're not gonna see Egghead again for months. On Pirate Island Full-Lead, Sweet Kobe is making his escape and freeing as many people as he can with him, and Blackbeard wants to create a pirate haven that he can be king of. But the fellow members of SWORD come in to save Kobe, and Garp shows up to show off. And his special treatment of Kobe causes absolutely no hard feelings with the rest of SWORD. Anyway, we get a flashback of the Blackbeard and Law fight, and it's actually pretty spectacular. Law's actually holding up a lot better than we expected, but Blackbeard is still taking him down until Sulong Beepo shows up to protect him and cause some serious damage. Honestly, this fight could go either way. I don't know who's gonna... Blackbeard won. He's super won. But we still have that epic fight on Full-Lead between Garp and Kuzan, who's currently defending Blackbeard's island. Garp punched him deep into the earth. May. T-Bone is dead. It's probably the greatest tragedy of One Piece, and my boy Buggy was behind the whole thing. Well, sort of. He's doing great, by the way. The organization that he totally leads, Cross Guild, is going after the One Piece. Over on Mary Joa, Bonnie and Sabo worked together to get Kuma free, and King Cobra showed up to give us, the elders, a lore dump. Then Imu sits on the empty throne and says the name Lily. This is the first time we've heard Imu's voice. Read it, in text. Heard it in our minds. Also, the Grand Fleet attacked a celestial dragon when he tried to capture Princess Crybaby. June went hard. We learned more about the holders of the Will of D and that they're responsible for a whole mess of stuff. And that Lily, Cobra, and Vivi are all Ds as well. We got the name of all of the elders. Imu declares that he wants Vivi, so get her out of there. Sabo's alive, and we learn more about what happened to Lulesha, as well as the people who were able to get free, and learn that Imu almost certainly is from the Void Century. And we met Figurlin Garling, who is the lead of the Holy Knights, and that means nothing to any of us, but we all cheered and got really excited. July. In July, Sword successfully got all the captives off of Fullaled Island, but Garp got badly hurt when he stepped in to save Kobe. He kept fighting, but he got the same words said about him that were said about the rest, that he came to a tragic end. But don't panic. Justice will prevail. Kobe and the crew fought to get free, and Garp stayed behind to fight while they got away. As of right now, Garp is missing, but he's passed the mantle to the next generation. This is one of my favorite months of the year for the manga. The Garp stuff with the sacrifice and hope for the next generation just really got me. August. Checking back in with Lulesha, and yep, it's super gone. Now it's just a really big hole with water constantly pouring into it, but it never fills up, but also the tides have risen everywhere around it and there's tons of flooding happening. How does all this work? You don't need to know. Okay, now let's check in with the Straw Hats. York was defeated while we were away. How did they do it? You don't need to know. But did you know that Monkey D. Luffy is gonna be the king of the pirates? So the Seraphim are captured, Bonnie no longer wants to kill Kuma, and Kizaru is here to be a cog in the machine. September. We'll learn soon that Kizaru has history with Vegapunk and Sentomaru, but in September we already saw that it goes back much further. But it doesn't stop him from taking Sentomaru down. Stussy goes down too to protect Vegapunk, and Luffy steps in to protect him too. Twice. Also, Ancient Robot was awakened. So Looney Tunes Luffy fights Kizaru while Kizaru is just trying to do his job. Quite rude, actually. And Lava Guy punched a hole in Kuma's head to stop him from getting to his destination. Lava Guy was just doing his job too. October. So after Kizaru kicked Bonnie away, Sentomaru saved Bonnie. Then Sanji and crew saved her, and then Saturn appeared out of a summoning circle and got stabbed in the chest. He's fine though. So Luffy and Kizaru are both on the ground, at their limit, can't fight anymore. Frankie punches Luffy into safety, and Bonnie is about to be executed. Flashback! Here we learn that Kuma was enslaved simply for being born into the Buccaneer race. He and the others were beaten, used, and literally hunted for sport. But with the help of some dear friends, Kuma got his devil fruit, and they were able to rescue over 500 people who otherwise would have had no hope. Also, the God Valley incident happened, but somewhere in the background. November. Kuma and Jinny were able to start a life together where they were able to help people in the Sorbet Kingdom and eventually join the Revolutionary Army. But Jinny was captured. She was forced into sexual slavery, and 2 years later she was discarded because of the disease that she had gotten. She gave her life crossing the sea to be able to put her child in the hands of Kuma, someone who could raise her and love her. She gave her life to give that baby a chance. So Kuma took her in, and he raised her as his own while defending the kingdom that he loved so much, even wrongfully getting the title of tyrant to protect them. And in December, Kuma traveled the world to find a cure for her when she came down with the same disease as her mom. He even gave up his very self for her life. He also spied on Luffy, but he made every last moment he had with her count. And even after that, he made sure to tell her how much he loved her. But the letters never reached her, so she had to set out to sea on her own. But not before changing her body into a Nika-like future and landing a really satisfying punch. How satisfying that she got her freedom by using the makeup of the bringer of liberation. Naturally, November and December were some of my favorite One Piece months as well. So there you go, that is the year of One Piece in 2023. The chapters we got, the lore drops, the character moments, the emotions. It was beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this retrospective look at what One Piece was in the year 2023. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite month for the chapters that we got. And while you're there, go ahead and add on the final chapter of the year since I failed. On the day that I'm posting this, tonight there will be a live stream with some friends where we're going to talk about To Your Eternity. So if you've watched it or read it, feel free to join us. We're keeping it anime only for the discussion because one of our friends has only watched the anime. Check your subscriptions, that should already be in your feed. And then on Monday, we're going to be looking into the future and predicting what the end of Egghead is going to look like. I post videos every Monday and Friday on this channel, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on my book channel. Check that out if you want to. It's always linked in the description. I'll see you again soon. Bye.